I don't even remember when this idea stopped feeling like a joke. It started as just another late night, scrolling through forums, reading strange theories and real stories. One of them stuck with me. Someone claimed they had managed to raise a prehistoric creature at home. I laughed at first, but the thought didn't leave. A few days later, I wasn't laughing anymore. I was building. The terrarium wasn't something I bought. I made it myself. Thick glass, sealed edges, reinforced corners, proper ventilation, and a heating lamp to control the environment. Inside, I tried to recreate something ancient. Sand, stones, patches of moisture. It looked like a tiny, isolated world, something separate from everything outside. Then there was the egg. I still can't explain where it came from. It was heavy, slightly warm, with a rough, almost organic surface. I placed it in the center of the terrarium and waited, not really expecting anything. Days passed, then weeks. At some point, I started checking it less frequently, convincing myself it was just an unusual object. Until one night, I heard it, a crack. The shell began to split slowly, almost deliberately, as if something inside was testing its boundaries. When the first fragment fell away, I saw movement beneath the surface, subtle, wet, alive. The opening widened, and something small forced its way out. It was alive, tiny, covered in moisture and remnants of the egg. Its head was disproportionately large, its limbs thin and fragile. It took its first shaky breaths and then lifted its head and looked straight at me. That moment felt longer than it should have. There was no fear, no confusion, just awareness. I named him Rex. At first, he seemed almost harmless. Clumsy, unstable, often losing balance as he moved across the sand. He would rest under the lamp, absorbing heat, then suddenly snap at pieces of meat I offered him. His reactions were quick, but uncoordinated. Still, he watched everything. Even then, he was observing, but that didn't last. He started growing, rapidly, unnaturally so. Within days, his body became noticeably larger. Within a week, he no longer fit comfortably in my palm. Soon, the space inside the terrarium began to feel smaller, not because the environment changed, but because he did. His movements evolved. They became deliberate, calculated. He no longer stumbled. He walked with purpose. When I approached, he didn't rush anymore. He stopped and tracked my position, his head following every slight motion. Then came the tapping. At first, it was occasional, a light contact with the glass. But over time, it became more consistent, stronger. He was not just reacting, he was interacting with the boundary itself, testing it. I reinforced the structure, added another layer of glass, checked the locks twice, sometimes 3 times. But deep down, I had already started to feel it wasn't about whether the enclosure would hold. It was about when. One day, I was late feeding him. When I returned, the atmosphere inside the terrarium had changed. Rex was no longer passive. He was waiting. His body was low, muscles tense, tail moving slowly in a controlled rhythm. His eyes were fixed on me, unblinking, focused. I opened the container and reached in with the food. That's when he moved. Fast. He struck the glass with force, the impact echoing through the room. I instinctively pulled back. He didn't stop. He struck again, and again. A thin line appeared across the surface. A crack. I froze. So did he. For a brief moment, everything went still. Then his attention shifted, not to me, but to the crack itself. He moved closer to it, pressing near it, studying it, testing it. That's when I realized this wasn't random behavior. He was learning, adapting, understanding the limits of his environment. From that day forward, his growth didn't just feel physical. It felt behavioral, cognitive. Each day, he seemed more aware of patterns, more responsive to movement, more patient.